Hello, my name is Jupiter Hadley, and today we're here with another episode of What's Indie News. This is January 2018, the first one of the new year. And as always, I'm here with Kemp and Joseph.
Hello.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, this podcast is all about indie games
positive.
and stuff. About positive
In
indie games and stuff, isn't it?
Positivity in the indie games industry.
Cool. And with that said, let's get into news.
So on the 5th of January, itch.io listed its most popular games of 2017. So for those of you who don't know, itch.io is an open indie game marketplace and released a selection of impressive 2017 statistics that show not only the growth of the indie scene, but also the games that have been most successful on the platform. Of the 100,864 project pages that were created on the site, 68,526 games were actually published.
Huh.
The full collection of top 10 lists in itch.io's review of 2017 also shows the best-selling paid games, along with the most downloaded free games, plus lists of games that received the most tips above their asking price. Some notable names that appear here include Fez, which is now over 5 years old and sits at number 3 on the most purchased paid games of 2017 list, Kentucky Route Zero, found on the most tip list, and Everything, which is one of the most purchased paid games and most tipped of 2017. I've played Fez and Everything, and Everything was a delightful experience.
That's the rotating goats, isn't it?
Yes.
That's the thing I know about it. And then it gets very abstract and existential.
Oh god, it did. I forgot about that.
There are a lot of interesting stats in this itch.io list that they've published. There's so many, weird... who would have thought Fez would still be this popular? And there's, a game jam, because obviously I really like game jams. There's game jam stats. There was 1,646 game jams created, and 45,551 people joined them, creating 13,361 games.
And you played them all.
But more or less. No, that's insane. Absolutely insane. And it's just quite amazing seeing how much it's grown and what was popular. And it's a lot of games I hadn't heard of were on the popular list or quite high on popular lists, which are wonderful. And it's great there's so much attention to all of these little games. Yeah. Go itch.
I mean, so I was going to say, it's pretty impressive that they've had 70,000 games being published over the year. I mean, that's, what is that, 200 a day?
Yeah.
Am I doing my maths right? Yeah, about 200 a day.
200 a day, jeez.
Yeah. Lots and lots and lots of games, even on smaller niche sites that only do, indie games. I wish Steam would publish a review sort of like this.
I know late last year they did some kind of covering of revenue. I think.
But just sort of what the most popular games were, and I don't know how many people created accounts and followed curators, because they talk about how many people have followed other people on itch and stuff like that. I just think that they're really weird but interesting stats.
Yeah, loads of crazy stuff on there as well. I'll probably have to go through and have a go with some of these stuff, especially the top ones.
Yeah, there's a few I haven't heard of myself in there.
Yeah, and that in itself is quite insane to me. There are games on here that are the top, and I haven't even heard of them.
I know, same.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I noticed the most tipped games. So the free ones, created for jams that got the most tips. I was about to say they're all jam ones, but yeah, it notes that they're all specifically jam ones.
Good job, game jam
Even
people making money.
Even the most tipped ones I don't even know about, really, besides Everything and Kentucky Route Zero.
Well, the top jam up there got almost 3,000 games submitted to it.
Yeah. Fuck.
That's like a whole day's work for you, Jupiter.
There's one day's work. I haven't quite finished that jam. I have got a couple hundred through, but I haven't quite finished it.
Oh, wow. Oh boy, good luck with that.
No, thank you very much.
Oh, no.
This is how I talk now.
You're fine, Jupiter. I've read it wrong. It was 3,000 participants. It only had about 750 games.
That wasn't the most done game then.
I'm glad I didn't make a game for Global Game Jam, because then I would have added to your list.
No, I don't do Global Game Jam, you humans. I don't do Global Game Jam. I do 3 or 4 select locations because the website's shit. No one ever puts out controls, and most of them are multiplayer anyway.
That's fair enough.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I never enter any game jams, so I'm basically saving your life, Jupiter.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
I'll stop entering game jams now.
Good. No, enter game jams. It's fine.
Game jams over for ferrets.
Moving swiftly on.
No more game jams.
No, moving swiftly on. Enter your game jams. But also support me on Patreon.
Keep doing game jams. I will.
Awesome.
I will be doing them. I'll be doing them so that I can spite Jupiter.
I'm moving on. I'm gonna read the next thing. Taiga publishes guide to forthcoming changes in data protection law. Due to be implemented on May 25th this year, the General Data Protection Regulation will replace the Data Protection Act 1998. That was ages ago. The GDPR aims to unify data regulations within the European Union, simplifying the environment for international businesses and giving back control to citizens and residents over their personal data. It also will introduce tough fines for non-compliance and give individuals more of a say over what organizations can do with their data. One of the most notable changes included in the GDPR is the right to be forgotten, which allows individuals to request that their personal data is released without undue delay. Produced in partnership with law firms Stephen & Bolton and Kilpatrick Townsend and Stockton, Taiga's guide explores the main issue behind GDPR, from changes to data processing and breach notifications through to the new legal requirements surrounding data protection officers. I can read.
So it's not all that interesting for a majority of people, but I imagine for a lot of developers who are dealing with player analytics and data, it's probably very important to keep an eye on this stuff.
Definitely. I don't know how well this sort of information bubbles up to indie developers, especially because I guess they don't have the legal department there to advise them and all that sort of thing. Yeah,
so I think that's what Taiga's kind of guidelines is hopefully aimed towards, is just to kind of look at developers who don't really have the funds to kind of pay for a law team, and just to be like, hey, this is kind of the state of data protection at the moment, just be careful.
From a kind of selfish point of view, I hate it when people keep my personal data and they're like, no, even though you've asked for us to get rid of it, we're going to keep it for 30 days. No.
When I say no data, you say okay.
Yeah, basically. Very interesting. It's interesting when, so back in 1998, I was 2 and had no concept of computers or the internet. So it's just, a lot has changed between that time, so it makes sense to update laws and regulations that evolve around technology from back then because of the massive difference.
Wow, I feel old now.
Hi, I'm really young.
Yeah, I think it's a good move from a consumer standpoint for sure, and I can imagine there are a lot of sites I'm gonna email being like, hey, you better get rid of all my data because I'm gonna be mad.
Well, I'm gonna also read the next one because it has to do with game jams. I'm reading a lot tonight. Yeah. I'm just gonna read. So, moving on to something a bit more game-related. Global Game Jam had its 10th anniversary this month. Well, in the month of January. The annual development... Wow, how do you even say that?
Menagerie.
Okay. The annual development menagerie sees people from around the world come together to create games based on a selected theme. This one was transmissions. Which will be revealed when the 48-hour Jamathon kicks off on Friday. Rather aptly, this year's edition promises to be the biggest ever, with over 40,000 projected participants across 805 sites in 109 countries. There'll be specific sites dedicated to unique platforms and formats like board games, LARPing, virtual reality, and there have even been whispers of birthday celebrations, complete with cake. I got to attend the Game Jam site in Romania, and Joseph attended the one in London that I should have been at, but I wasn't. I was in Romania.
Oh, there's quite a few. There are quite a few in London, I think. So it was one of
Was
probably
it at
about 5.
Newspeak?
Pardon?
Was it at the Newspeak house?
No, it was at Queen Mary's University, London.
Wow, you're lame.
So how was Romania?
No, you go first. How was London?
London was good, yeah. I I kind of sat down when I started the game jam and transmissions came up. I'd basically spent the entire day traveling via train because there were massive train delays as usual in the UK. And so when I got there and heard the theme, I was like, I do not have the brain capacity to deal with this. So the next day I woke up and realized I wasn't in a team and found someone else who wasn't in a team, and we both said, you know what, let's just make music. So we made music and sound effects for other people's games, which was a hell of a lot of fun, actually, and I probably might do it again.
Awesome. I'm glad you had a good time in London. I went off to Romania. It was pretty interesting. So Kemp, I'm going to involve you in this. When you think of Romania, what games do you think of, or what game development scene do you think of?
I don't really know, I don't think. I feel really bad, but...
Yeah, Kemp, what do you think of?
I mean, I learned from you that the Door Kickers guys are in Romania.
Fair. So that's the thing. There's not a lot of Romanian developers or big... that's not true. There's not a lot of big games that have come out of Romania. It's an outsourcing company, so a lot of other companies will outsource their work to Romanian developers who will then make it as a sort of cheaper form of labor. So going into Romania, I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about the culture there or the game development scene or anything. I was invited over by the Romanian developers, the Romanian Game Developers Association, and by a local person who was running the game jam there. And during the game jam, they also had a big convention called Rom Expo, or Rom Expo, which was really, really, really neat to see, because it's so different from the expos that we have here in the way that it's mainly sponsorship and commercial stuff and lots of esports as opposed to just games. But the game jam itself was really cool. There was cake, there was pizza, there was lots of developers making games. When I first heard the theme, I thought of robots and technology. No one made stuff with robots and technology. They made stuff about the human body and about STDs and diseases and stuff like that. But it was a really lovely experience, and I'm so glad I got to go. The local one that I was at had quite a few developers. I think there was 17-ish games made, or something like that. I had a wonderful time, and it was really great getting to, as you mentioned, I got to meet the developers of Door Kickers, Kill House Studios, as well as loads of other as well as the other indie studios in Romania, and I got to speak with a lot of people on the culture and the way games are made there and how things work, and I got to go to the expo, which was fun. So I had a great time.
It sounds really interesting, to be honest. Just like you say, there's a whole different culture there, and you got to get right into the middle of it.
Yeah, everyone was afraid of me at first. It was really fun. Because I was an English-speaking press person who had my name on posters around the building. There was one kid who was there was one individual who said, I want you to look over this thing that we're creating. And I was like, okay, and I went to go look it over, and then his friend who was also working on it went, no, she can't read it until it's way better than this. Wouldn't want a bad review. And so I started handing out stickers and going, I'm not scary, I promise.
I imagine it's especially when you're making your own game, especially, well, at least for my first game jam, you're very nervous about people seeing it, especially either people who are judging it or people who are big names associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand them anyway, because I hate people seeing something that I'm in the middle of working on.
That's what I was there to do, though. That is really fun. Yeah. Cool. Let's move on to some games.
Yes, let's move on to some games. First of all, on the 11th of January, a Ravin Monologue was released on Steam. A Ravin Monologue is a short experimental silent story about a raven that does not know how to croak and his relationship with the people in the town. This experiment was part of hashtag Mojiken Camp 2, an internal upgrade program by Mojiken Studio to experiment with how to tell stories or to communicate an experience using constrained work of interactive art. So this is a free game.
On Steam.
Available to just and Steam, just available to download and play. I'm planning on playing it on stream because I thought it'd be a nice, fun little game to go with, and it seems very simple. The art style is absolutely gorgeous, and I love interactive stories as well, so I just wanted to put it on here.
They have a fan pack. Is that things by fans or for fans? It's got sort of wallpapers and promotional art and development sketches and things as well.
All in-game assets as well.
Oh,
for
yeah.
£2.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, I think. Always need more assets.
That's an interesting way to... Sorry, Jupe, to go on.
It's fun. I was going to say, I'd like to read the About This Game poem.
Okay, yep.
Dearest Sir Raven, do you still wander around without end, crafting colors under the silent and still, crafting colors under the still and silent, not knowing I'm waiting here, alone without a friend? Dearest Sir Raven, when you are around, would you mind to stop by? Just a hello, just a moment, to let me savor the memories before our goodbye? Dearest Sir Raven, let us go home, to the place devoid of reality fame, where I shall watch over us, even without a logical form. That's a great description for this game. This looks absolutely beautiful. Just like, it looks so beautiful.
And it's free!
And it's free! Go play free games.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't need to spend £60 on the latest AAA game.
Oh, there's beautiful free gems sitting on Steam.
Mm-hmm. Play it. I know I will be.
On stream! Play it on stream. And it's technically work, right?
Yeah, I will play it on stream. I've already played a few. I've actually played one of the games I'm going to talk about on here on stream, so... But yeah. Anyway, next game. Oh god, oh no. This game is called Till the Dawn Waiting. Till the Dawn Waiting is a narrative-based experience unfolded from a perspective on an abandoned pet struggling between life, trust, and loyalty. Story revolves around the pet named Barney that unknowingly suffers harassment as he is left outside in the middle of nowhere by his owner. This is another game I'm going to be playing on stream, although I imagine I might cry a lot. It's basically about a dog that was abandoned by his owner, and you play through as the dog, waiting for him to come back.
Sounds like a very sad game.
And you're tied to a pole as well, that's the thing. Like, you're properly abandoned and left to die.
I know, exactly.
Like, you weren't just abandoned. They didn't let you go in the forest. You're trapped on a pole. You're gonna starve to death.
I know, it's... I'm really...
This is the I waited for you, Fry thing all over again.
Ah! Every time I've come back, I've promised people that I will play this on stream, but every time I come back to it, I'm like, oh god, I don't know if I can do this. This is too painful.
Well, so far, these new releases are an advertisement of your stream. So if anyone would like to see Joseph actually play this game, there'll be a special link to his stream in the top of this description.
Oh,
and
God.
bug him to play a sad dog game and cry.
And a sad game about a raven as well.
And a sad game about a raven. I mean, this dog game, it looks very sad. It looks very sad.
It does. Let's go on to something a bit more whimsical and fun.
Yes, beavers be damned.
Beavers be damned. So, in Beavers Be Damned, your objective is to steal wood from sawmills before the time runs out. To be very specific, you and Beaver Buddy gnaw your way into the mill, locate the timber, and maneuver those heavy logs towards the drop-off point. Beware, you will be dodging sharp saw blades, avoid being cooked by feisty flamethrowers, and more hazards in this crazy humorous party game experience. So it's a co-op game about stealing wood as beavers, and you have these like little masks on as well.
Yeah, these beavers are very, very cute beavers. Very, very cute beavers.
And it's free as well. Would you look at that? It's free as well.
There's a lot of really nice free games on
And
Steam right now.
And it's 2-player co-op, and only 2-player co-op. There's no single player.
Good. Curl up with a friend for Valentine's Day and become beavers.
It's no good for me. I have no friends.
You
Be
have
my Valentine.
you have a significant other?
This is true, actually.
You can become beaver buddies.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do on Valentine's Day other than play games?
What does anyone do on Valentine's Day besides play games?
Play games.
Exactly.
Actually, I am adding this to my library as we speak, actually, yeah.
Wonderful. I'd like to talk about the next game.
Ooh, of course.
Yes, Staxel. I believe Kemp's actually played this one as well. Staxel's a creative farming. Oh, sorry.
We saw it at Res last year, I believe.
We did.
And I've watched someone play it on the YouTubes.
On the YouTubes. Do people still watch those?
What, YouTube videos?
Yeah.
I don't know, you make them, you tell me.
I didn't think people still cared about that. I'm just kidding. It was literally just a joke. Anyway, Staxel is a creative farming and village life game with a cast of quirky characters. Build your farmhouse, help villagers, take to the wilds to fish or hunt for bugs, and grow a variety of crops in your backyard. If you're feeling social, you can even invite your friends over to share in the fun. I played this game at EGX last year, and it was very, very fun. Very polished back then. It's got multiplayer. It's really quite nice and well done. It's sort of like Minecraft, but has more stuff than the last time I played Minecraft.
It's very bright and colourful and cheery.
Yeah, it's a whole lot more cute than Minecraft. And it's £14.99 on Steam.
Oh, people have to pay for this game.
Yeah, pay for the game.
Remember, not all games are free.
It's currently in Steam Early Access, but it does have online multiplayer, so I don't know, I like games that have online multiplayer.
It's impressive.
Yeah, looks really cool.
It seems far more focused on farming than kind of like survival in Minecraft.
Yeah.
Because you have a wide variety. I see sunflowers, lettuces, carrots, wheat, different flowers, cute cows.
Yeah, it's a lot more structured than Minecraft. So you are actually running a farm, and there's missions and stuff and NPCs and all that sort of thing. So you actually have something to do other than sort of build a thing and then give up for a year and come back for the next update.
That's fair. A bit more of a guided experience.
Exactly.
I'd also like to talk about the next one. The next game we're talking about.
Perfect.
Beautiful. It's called Celeste, is how you say?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, Celeste, help Madeline survive her inner demons on her journey to the top of Celeste Mountain in this super tight, handcrafted platformer from the creators of the multiplayer classic Towerfall. Now, this game was on my radar about a year ago when it announced that it was coming out for Switch, before the Switch was even, available. And now it's out on Xbox, Switch, and it's on your computer. You can find it on Steam for £14.99. And it's like a rage platformer with beautiful pixel art and a gorgeous story. And it's so wonderful. Why haven't I played it yet? But it looks truly wonderful. Truly wonderful.
The footage I'm seeing here, it does seem to have this combination of really nice, colourful, pixely graphics, and looks really infuriating to play.
So it does have a mode that makes the game easier. The mode does loads of different things, slows down your movement, does lots of things that'll make it easier. So it doesn't have to be so much of a rage platformer, but it is designed to be a rage platformer.
No, I put the assist mode in talking points later, but yeah, the assist mode it has allows you to slow the game speed. You can even grant yourself invincibility and infinite stamina, and you can skip chapters. And they say it, and they kind of put it in a very very accepting. Like, it's not insulting or condescending at all.
As
And
it
helps
should
make
be.
it super accessible.
Yeah, so they want you to experience the whole game, not just like the first few levels and then you give up because it's too hard, sort of thing.
Exactly.
And if you are making a game
And-
and it's hard and you make a mode that's for people who want an easier experience, you shouldn't do it in an insulting way. This should be how it's done. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess Doom was sort of the template for the really insulting difficulty levels, weren't it? I can't remember the names exactly, but it's very much calling you a baby and that sort of thing.
Wolfenstein does that as well. I guess in the style of the aesthetic, but it's, some people actually just like playing a chill experience.
Yeah.
That's why I like play. I don't like rage platformers, but this just looks. Excuse me, but this just looks beautiful, and it does have an easier mode, which is what I'd go for.
I want to get on Switch now.
I know.
Really badly.
Also, very useful for reviewers.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out how hard the game is, and then you can make it easier and see what the later levels are like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a very good point. It's what cheats were for originally, weren't they?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, I guess.
Kemp, do you want to talk about the next game?
Do you want to talk about this, Kemp?
Where are we? Oh, yes. I'm going to screw up saying the name of this. Powerumi, I guess. That sounds about right, don't it? Powerumi.
Is it Japanese? I guess the name. I don't know. Because that's Power Rumi, yeah. Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't know where the name came from, but it's a shoot 'em up, and we played this at Resd last year, I believe.
We did, and
I
who
got
won?
I
Who
got
won?
a T-shirt for getting the high score on
Who
a particular
won?
day.
Some guy cheated. Asshole.
I should note I got the high score because it was the first day when there's very few people at the event.
And you beat me.
I did. I think you could have beat me. You destroyed my score the next time you tried the next day, though.
I know. Day too late. Doesn't matter anymore.
But yeah,
Sorry,
this is a shoot 'em
I'm not
up.
bitter at all.
Not at all. So, set in I'm going to quote the description here, a retro-futuristic sci-fi pre-Columbian universe.
Pre-Columbian.
And that is too many adjectives. But basically, the idea is this is the sort of civilization we'd have if the ancient, like the Aztecs and so on, continued how they were in terms of culture, but sort of developed technologies based on light and gravity and such instead of the direction we went with steam and all the things we know now. So it's all big floating structures and like neon everywhere and all that sort of thing. And it's very bright and very colourful, and I really like the graphics. But it's got this. There's always references to rock paper scissors, so I'm just going to say it now. But you have 3 different colour weapons, and there's 3 different colour enemies, and the weapons do different things depending on the colour combination of the weapon and the enemy. So you can cause double damage, or you can fill up, recharge your shield, or you can charge your special attack. I was going to say annoyingly, but rather cunningly on the part of developers, I guess, the combination that recharges your shield also makes the enemies shoot more powerfully and faster.
Yeah. So it's high risk, high reward.
Very much so. You can recharge your shield, but they will probably cause more damage if you get hit by them.
Mm-hmm.
So you do sort of get into a spiral once you've been hit a few times where you're desperately trying to recharge your shield, but you keep getting hit because they're firing more then. And
the thing that threw me off was pre-Columbian. I was like, wait, what does that even mean? And then once you said Aztec kind of style, and the Aztec history, I guess, of the universe it's within, then it kind of made a bit more sense.
Yes, it is something that I guess to get it, you do need to read a description of it first.
Yeah.
It's not the sort of thing where I can just throw you in and you're like, oh, this relates to things I know in the modern day.
Yeah. It's very different in nearly every single way to most things. But still draws a lot of inspiration from a lot of modern things. One thing I like that I must say I love to see in a game is remappable inputs.
Yes.
So speaking of accessibility, that's always fantastic.
Yes. Not everyone can play it exactly the way the developers do.
Yeah, exactly. And not as many games do that now. Although I understand why from a development standpoint, but it would just be way better. And it's essentially a bullet hell, I guess.
Yes, very much so, especially on the harder difficulties.
Damn.
I believe the other day. I mean, it's only been out for less than a week. I guess about a week at the time of recording this.
Mm-hmm.
And a few days ago, I think someone was the first person to complete the game on the hardest difficulty.
Really?
So that was reasonably quick.
What? It's even a few days though. It's like that's quite long to finish a game, especially with if you get a lot of people playing it.
No, it's true. Actually, how many Steam lists concurrent players and stuff these days, isn't it?
Well, I don't know if
Oh,
Steam
no.
does it directly on their page, but you can do it through Steam Cloud.
I
Can't
do
remember the
have it
platform.
on the page, actually. It says
Oh,
powered
do
by
you?
Steam Spy, so it might be a plugin I've got or something.
Steam Spy, yeah, that's the plugin.
And the numbers are all messed up, so actually I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
I think with it, I think just before release they deactivated all the old keys and gave everyone new keys, and I think that's
Okay.
really like messed up the numbers here.
Oh, fair enough. So they've had to take away numbers whilst adding some. I'm not much of a bullet hell person, but I do love the aesthetics.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking game.
And it was at EGX Resed as well, you were saying.
Yes, last year.
God, I wish I had more time to actually play some of these games at EGX.
Oh yeah, there's always too many for the amount of time you have.
I know. I only managed to play, what was it, The Occupation, the game from DRS, the developers of DRS.
Yeah, I can't remember what the game was now. Though I'm useless with names, so that's not a surprise.
That's true, so am I. Should we go on to things to look out for?
Yeah, probably. I'll read the first one because I love Stardew Valley. Cool.
I think we all do, probably. It's just such a great game.
Alright, Stardew Valley will have LAN and online multiplayer. Finally! So, this specific article of the news was submitted by Femi Fox on our Discord because they wanted to help us be up to date with all of the latest things happening. If you'd like to join our Discord and submit stuff to us, let us know. There's a link in the description. Go submit stuff. But anyway, Stardew Valley had like a Stardew Valley multiplayer screenshot where a group of 4 people were playing together was shared. 2 buildings are shown at the top that appear to be the homes for multiplayer farmers. There's a chat window at the bottom of the screen. In addition, there is also a flamingo scarecrow in the field that appears to be new. Baron notes that the new content, which will include a new winter town event, more NPC events, and outdoor items, is all completed in a subsequent tweet. Getting multiplayer ready is the current focus. I am so freaking excited for multiplayer, and it's gonna be available on all platforms, I hope, so I can play it on the Switch, because I have it on the Switch. I've been playing Stardew Valley way too much on the Switch before bed, before I don't sleep, because then I'm up playing it, but no, it's super exciting, super exciting.
Oh, I've been waiting for this for a while. Every time a friend is like, oh, do you know anything about Stardew Valley multiplayer? I'm like, nope, not heard. And then as soon as I saw this, I sent it to them. And we get more and more hyped.
So I've never played Stardew Valley.
What?
And I feel like every person I've ever known in my life is playing Stardew Valley right now.
Go get Stardew Valley.
I love it. I do really love that game. But then I used to play a lot of Harvest Moon as well, so...
I've never played Harvest Moon. I don't know anything about Harvest Moon. Go get Stardew Valley.
Oh yeah, Harvest Moon is pretty much exactly the same. It was what it was.
That was N64 originally, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think I only played the later ones on Game Boy Advanced.
Actually, I'm going to check, so I feel like it might be even older than that. Oh, it came out on the SNES first, apparently. Is everyone there?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm still in shock that you haven't played Stardew Valley. I'm trying to cope with this.
I mean, that's understandable, to be fair.
I am breathe.
I am the only person in existence who hasn't played it.
I know. I don't know how to move on from this. I think we have to kill him.
We had to kill him. Ooh. Oh boy. I did not expect that to go this way in this podcast.
He's either gotta play it or we kill him.
Alright, okay, fair enough. I'll get my shovel again. This is like the third podcast this has happened now.
Just don't go on podcasts anymore.
Every time I get on a podcast, it eventually ends up in someone being killed.
This sounds bad.
So if I disappear from Twitter one day, this is why.
No,
that'll look real bad.
No.
We'll have to keep Kemp's Twitter going for a while, and then we'll just slowly phase it out.
Cool, good chat. Swiftly moving on.
Theme Hospital spiritual successor 2 Point Hospital announced. 2 Point Hospital is very much spiritual successor to Bullfrog's beloved 1997 classic Theme Hospital. There are cartoony wide-jawed characters, comedic elements, and hopefully an annoying voice over the PA system. 2 Point Hospital has two key developers of the original Theme Hospital on board. It is the first game from the UK indie team 2 Point Studios, which was founded by Theme Hospital architects Mark Webley and Gary Carr. Thank God. We get something that's quite funny as well when they were talking about some of the symptoms. It says, so bloaty head syndrome was something from the original games. 2 Point Hospital has lightheadedness, where your head is replaced by a light bulb.
I'm looking forward to this.
A light bulb. This sounds like a great game. I've not seen Theme Hospital. I've not played Theme Hospital. I've seen it. I've not played Theme Hospital. And then I saw this announcement, and in whatever I was reading about this announcement, it talked about how this game has retro graphics. And I was like, what? Yeah. And I was like, what? These aren't retro?
Yeah.
And I was very confused about the whole thing. Because these are like 3D graphics.
Judging from the screenshots, it's got like free camera movement. Everything's in full 3D. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was
here?
reading, but I was just like, the fuck is this? This looks like a really fun game though, and it looks like something I'm definitely gonna want to pick up.
No, same. I mean, I have played the original Theme Hospital, and I loved it because it was just like such a wacky management game. And so having some of the original architects from the original game is amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely getting this. Oh, I do wonder if all the old tricks will be preserved, like where when you couldn't cure someone, you could keep them in your hospital until they're about to die, and then discharge them off to a different hospital, and then their ranking gets hit because they die in the other hospital.
Wow.
If you wanted to sort of cheat, I guess.
That's true. I didn't do that, and I never thought of that, but that makes sense.
But no, I had a lot of fun in Theme Hospital, so very much looking forward to this one.
Cool. Onwards to Tactical Breach.
Tactical Breach Wizards.
Who wants to talk about this?
I don't know. Who?
Who possibly?
So, Tactical Breach Wizards. They had me at the name, but basically this is what happens when you take an XCOM style game and make everyone wizards, and they're a SWAT team, and it just looks amazing. It's only been announced though. This is all concepts, but he's been posting. He is Tom Francis, of course. So he's the guy behind Gunpoint and Heat Signature. So he's been posting up GIFs on Twitter as he's been working through some concepts for movement and such. But the concept art for the game really got me excited about it. So I think the one that sums the game up the best for me is you've got the elemental sharpshooter who's carrying this big elemental staff to presumably cast magic out of with a sniper scope strapped to it.
Oh, that's perfect.
And then there's the pyromancer who has such special abilities in concept, remember, such special abilities as covering fire, with a description of covers people with actual fire.
Wonderful.
And fire in the hole, where you put someone in a hole and set them on fire.
I love fire support. Resuscitate someone by setting them on fire.
Yeah.
This is great.
I love his humour.
I mean, if all this carries through to the final game, it does seem like the sort of very tongue-in-cheek game that could be a lot of fun.
Some of these... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say sort of like, I guess like Magicka, but tactical.
Yeah, I just love some of these descriptions, like the Riot Priest. One of his things is lecture, slam shield down, place book on it, use as lectern. Shields friends with magic, shield self with, well, shield. And is agnostic as well. And then the elemental sharpshooter, I love as a pacifist.
All about the details. This looks really great.
Yeah, I am excited. But I mean, who knows how much of this will make it through to the final game, but just the concepts have me.
Shall we move on to Panzer Hearts?
Yep. So this was submitted by Eric on the What's Indie News Discord. Plug. Feel free to join again if you have any news and stuff for us to pick up. So Panzer Hearts is a story-driven game willed with romance and adventure. The setting is an alternate history World War II, where the warmongering Empire is terrorizing its friendly neighbors. The young men and women born and raised in the Empire see the war of aggression as justified. A chain of events and a cry from his past make Bastian question loyalty and his side in the war. In Panzer Hearts' visual novel, you take the role of a young soldier, Bastian, wounded in battle, gets a second chance to serve the Empire in a factory, building tanks to the front. So it's I think it's coming in March. And it's basically just a visual novel / dating simulator. And the devs themselves are also looking out to see if anyone wants to record or stream some content for it as well. And yeah, it's planned to be coming out in March.
And it looks pretty cute. Just graphically, the characters look very cute to me.
Exactly. Is the next one?
I feel like you've played more than me, but I'll read it. Songbird Symphony. So Songbird Symphony, it's not completely out, but it has like a demo that's out, and it's continuing to be developed with a TBA release date. It's a 2D musical adventure game depicting the tale of a young bird named Burb as he leaves the safety of his net to confront the outside world and discover his true identity. Along the way, he encounters other feathery Denzians and learns the language of the forest, ultimately unveiling his destiny. Songbird Symphony. I don't know why I have trouble saying the word symphony. It's beautiful, it's well made, it's a great adventure, there's so many little cute animals you can help, the rhythm aspects of the game are well done, they leak into the platforming aspects, and then sometimes they're just full-blown rhythm. It's free, why wouldn't you play it? Such a great game.
It gave me so much joy, so much wholesome joy. It was, I was so happy when I played this game. I just love the music. It's whenever I describe it to people, I say it's like if a Disney film was perfectly made into a game, into like an interactive musical game.
That would, yeah. Go play it. It's free. It shouldn't be free. You should have to pay for this experience, but you get it for free, and you better take it. I really enjoyed it.
I mean, you've convinced me. I might have to play this once we finish recording.
You really
Please do.
should. It's a wonderful game. I really liked it.
And the devs are lovely as well. They were very friendly.
Oh, yes.
Alright, should we go on to the best part of the stream, which is charity hype.
Charity hype.
Hype hype!
Hype.
The NSPCC and Aardman team up for game aiming to combat child abuse. So the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, the NSPCC, which is a charity in the UK, built a game called Playtime with Pantasaurus, featuring 4 mini games where kids can test their skills against Pantasaurus and other characters whilst learning the Pants Rule to keep themselves safe. The Pants Rule is an NSPCC initiative to help children feel safe to speak up about sexual abuse and keep them protected. So it's just kind of a little fun game for parents and children to play together to help talk about, help understand and kind of talk about sexual abuse and keep children aware and open to talking about it to parents. And also the fact that it's with Aardman as well is awesome.
This is an Android/iOS game.
And it's free as well.
So yeah. You can sort of design your character and then go through different situations that talk about secrets and stuff that how secrets make you feel and stuff, and your different dinosaur type creatures. They look like dinosaurs to me, or maybe dragons. Yeah, Pantasaurus. Yeah, it's a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. It goes to show the kind of things that games can be good. The good games can do.
Games Done Quick raises $2.26 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. So Awesome Games Done Quick 2018 was the group's first event of the year and managed to pull in exactly $2,269,209 from over 32,000 donors. The speedrunning showcase ran from January 7th to the 14th and saw a group of volunteers tackle a smorgasbord of titles in super quick time. The dedicated crew managed to finish 154 runs over the course of the week, testing their wits against popular and classic titles, including Super Mario Galaxy, Owlboy, Jak and Daxter, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, Mass Effect, Sonic, Adventure 2, Metal Gear Solid, and many more. And it was entertaining.
They always are. I always find speedruns extremely almost hypnotic to watch.
Yes, I agree. It's quite interesting seeing how they break the game as well. A lot of speedrunners sort of use glitches in the game to go fast, which is great. And I just find it interesting to see where they break it.
I think there was... I like the ones that completely break the game, but there was an Amnesia one that was quite amusing. I think it was Amnesia, where basically it was out of bounds for almost the entire run. So you never saw the levels, you're just looking off into the void and the bits that you could see from outside of the level. And I guess visually it could be quite boring, but it's just the most amusing thing, where it's just like, okay, I'm just going to start this level, walk down the hallway a bit, and jump out the level.
And now the level's over, on to the next level.
And I remember some games had the developers with them as well. So it was interesting to see like these speedrunners use these exploitations to jump out the world and skip areas that developers have made. And you see kind of a person who's chairing it look to the developer and say, hey, was this something you kind of planned for in the game? And they were like, nope, they skipped over all that stuff we did.
All of our hard work, and it's gone.
Developers just sitting there silently crying in the corner.
Could have literally made a blank game.
Looking forward to June.
Yeah.
But there is really impressive ones there. There really is. Oh, also the ones where like they can't see what they're doing, because either the graphics have glitched out to the point where you literally can't see, or the things they're walking on aren't being rendered from the angle they're looking at them from. So they're doing it entirely from just having learnt so well exactly where they need to walk. It's just impressive.
Yeah, a cool example of that actually is in Super Mario 64, where you have to traverse across these like different parallel worlds via increasing your speed to an exact measurement that you can't actually read. But they've just memorized how long it takes to get to that speed so that they can jump between these parallel worlds. It's mind-boggling. Let's jump on to the next one. The EVE Online community raises $120,000 for family of fallen developer. So before Christmas, CCP Games, developer of EVE Online, put out a statement lamenting the loss of senior software engineer known by the company and community as CCP Blaze, who passed away while on holiday celebrating his recent engagement. In response to this devastating news, CCP created a skin set which players could purchase. All proceeds would go directly to supporting CCP Blaze's wife and daughter. CCP often uses EVE Online to raise funds for good causes, thanks to the company's ability to easily convert Plex, an in-game currency representing game time, to real-world currency. In this instant, the community donated 3,730,320 Plex, which translates to $119,828.5. US dollars and 620 years worth of EVE Online game time. This despite the fact the skins were only available for 1 week shortly before Christmas. It's honestly not possible for us to find words that would accurately convey the gratitude we feel to our pilots. Once again, the EVE community has shown that despite differences in game, our pilots are a formidable and indestructible force for good, said CCP Falcon, head of community, in a blog post.
In just a week, that's quite a bit of money raised.
Yeah, and that'd be extremely helpful, I imagine. That's what's wonderful, is that the community has come together for this. So
it's just one of those stories where I'm just sitting here nodding and silently agreeing, and forget that actually no one can. There's no webcam, no one can see that I'm.
If you want, you can record your face, and we can put it up in the YouTube video. Just your face.
You need a GIF of it, just like a looping GIF.
Just any time I'm not talking, there's just a GIF of me nodding in the corner.
All right. So let's do a speed fire round if Jupiter went to events for 10 days straight. Cool. So, this month I've been busy. I went to events starting on the 21st of January and ending on the 31st of January. That was my 10 days of events. And I'm going to tell you about each and every one of them. The first event I actually ran, it was the Game Maker Meetup. We do a monthly Game Maker Meetup in London, where developers come together. There's a couple of talks, and we talk about Game Maker, the game development engine, and we have a great time. It's wonderful. Quang wasn't there to help us because it's three of us that run it, me, Julian Adams, and Quang DX of Asobitech. And Quang of Asobitech wasn't there, so me and Julian had to take the reins on our own. But everything went well. The talks were great. Everything went perfectly. It snowed a bit, which was shit. We had food beforehand. It was great. And that was that. I then went to bed and woke up in time for Pocket Gamer Connects. Pocket Gamer Connects is it's a 2-day event that has a lot of networking, a small indie section, and loads of stuff going on. So the main goal, I guess, there is to like meet with publishers and go to there's like different tracks and talks, so it's like a conference. It was pretty fun. I judged the Big Indie Pitch PC version. So I judged a load of PC games. One of them won a prize. I was also chairing a panel on indie publishing, which went very well. We had a load of awesome publishers on the panel and like developers who had self-published and just people that had opinions. And it went well. I had too many meetings. I was tired. That was 2 days.
Damn, Jesus, that was a lot.
Then directly after that was
gosh.
Games Forums. So after those 2 days is Games Forums. So it's meant to be similar to this event. It's like there's conference tracks, there's games, there's lots of people meeting publishers, there's lots of meetings. I didn't sign up for the meeting app for this event because I was so tired from the first one. And there's after parties every night, so I was going out late and it was not good for meetings. I pitched Quang's game, Mau Mau Castle. The clicker was broken for my pitch because I had to pitch first, of course. So I had to yell click in between every slide as I pitched this. It was a mess. And I did it in a cat costume. So if you're watching the YouTube video, insert picture of me in the cat onesie.
See, this is why everyone should follow Jupiter or probably Quang on YouTube, so you can see all the crazy things Jupiter does.
It's not on YouTube, man.
Did I say YouTube?
You keep saying YouTube, it's not on YouTube.
I don't even know what sites I'm talking about anymore. Twitter.
They're all the same.
Yeah, you should see it on Twitter, man. You should see it on Twitter. They're not all the same. Copy. Let me just give you guys this picture really quick. Look at there's me.
Okay.
There I am.
Oh, that's perfect.
I know. I'm one of a kind, man. This is me pitching my friend's game, dedicated as fuck. And then right after that pitch, I literally couldn't stick around for questions. I had to go to a panel that I was on about the future of games journalism. So I walked in and everyone was already like sitting down and ready, and the guy handed me my microphone, said, "You're mic 1, you don't have any pockets." I said, "It's fine, I'll just hold it," because I was wearing a dress. I held it. I went to sit, I'm still in the cat costume, by the way. I'm stripping this off, walking into my panel where they've basically just waiting around for me. Good times. Good times. By this point, I was well tired, to say the least. I was basically done with conferences, but then I took off to go to Romania at 3 a.m. the evening after this. Great decision on my part. In Romania, obviously, we've talked about this. I went to the Global Game Jam, I went to ROM Expo, and then I went studio touring. And then the day that I landed, Machinima held they're doing like a sort of monthly event in London where they stream a game online, and you can come and take part, almost like a tournament, if you come to their physical location and win a load of cool prizes. I competed. I didn't do well. I was very, very tired. I was very, very tired.
Oh.
But it was a really fun event, and I had a great time. And that was my month. I would tell you about the games I liked from each place, but I can't remember. Everything was a blur, and we've talked about enough games.
Yeah, you need a break.
I have no idea how you do it.
Yeah, so that's the fun news, following my life. If you want a more up-to-date look on my life, follow me on Twitter, where I post pictures of where I am.
But not on YouTube.
I mean, you can follow me on YouTube if you want the videos a couple months later. I mean, everything takes time, guys. Everything takes time.
That's true.
Cool. So that's all of the news that we have for you this month. We hope you found it entertaining and fun, and found some really cool games to check out and some really cool things to take a look at. If you want to find more information about me, I'm at Jupiter_Hadley on Twitter.
You can find me on Twitter at KentPlays.
And you can find me on Twitter at Hesketh Joseph.
Wonderful. And as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe and hit a thumbs up. If you're watching this on a place where you can rate it, like iTunes and SoundCloud, rate it. I don't really know the protocol for either of those places, but yes.
Just hit all those buttons below the video or the sound clip. Just hit all of them.
Yes, and join our Discord. We talk sometimes. That's it. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.